to continue with our discussion. So we're done with pure and conditional obligations, alternative obligation, as well as obligations with a period. So now let's talk about joint and solidary obligations. So this kind of obligations is a little bit more complicated than of the others because dito na papasok yung several numbers of creditors as well as debtors. Okay? So to start with, let's have Article 1207. Okay? It says here that the concurrence of two or more creditors or of two or more debtors in one and the same obligation does not necessarily mean that each one of the creditor has the right to demand or that each one of the debtor is bound to render the entire prestation. Okay? Hindi porke nasa iisang obligasyon, babayaran na nung isa yung buo or pwede nang i-collect nung isang creditor yung buo. So, hindi ganon. Okay? Kasi nakadepende yan kung ang agreement or ang nature ng obligation ay joint ba or solidary. Okay? By default, joint ang isang obligation. By default, we have joint debtors and the nature of the right of the creditors to collect is also joint. The only time that there will be solidary right to collect on the part of the creditor and solidary obligation to pay on the part of the debtor is when, first, the obligation so states, the law so states, or the nature of the obligation so provides. Okay? Anyways, we'll have some examples as we go through. Okay? So, let's discuss first those instances na sinasabi ng batas na dapat solidary. Okay? Kapag kasi solidary, kahit madami kayo sa obligasyon, pwedeng singilin ng buo nung isa lang or pwedeng yung isa lang ang magbayad ng buo. Okay? Ganun kasi yung solidary. Pag joint naman kasi, kung ilan lang yung share mo, kunyari, debtors kayo, kung ilan lang yung share mo, kunyari, 3,000 yan, tas tatlo kayo, 1,000 lang ang obligation mo. Okay? Because it's joint. But if it's solidary, pwedeng singilin sa'yo yung buong 3,000. Sir, paano yun? Paano yung mga kasama ko, hindi sila nagbayad? Singilin mo na lang sila. Okay? But as far as the creditor is concerned, they can collect the whole amount, the entire prestation to you if the nature of the obligation is solidary. Okay? Now, let's go back to the instances na kung saan sinasabi ng law na itong mga instances na to, ang obligasyon, ang nature ng obligation ay hindi joint kundi solidary. First, sa isang partnership. Okay? So sa isang partnership, madaming partners. So kapag may naging obligasyon sila sa third person, hindi pwedeng magturuan yung partners or hindi pwedeng sabihin ng isang partner na yung share niya lang ang obligasyon niya. Okay? The liability of each partners in a partnership, okay, is solidary. Hindi sila pwedeng maghati-hati. Okay? Kailangan, kung yung isang siningil, kailangan yung bayaran ng buo. So, sir, what if binayaran ko ng buo as a partner? What's my remedy? Go after your co-partners. Kayo na ang may problema nun. Hindi dapat yung third person. Because under the law, under Article 1822 of the New Civil Code, the liability of partners in a partnership towards a third person, who is in good faith, of course, must be solidary. Next, under Article 1911 of the New Civil Code as well, liability ng agent sa principal towards third person. Okay? So, hindi pwedeng sabihin ni principal na kalahati lang yung babayaran niya at yung kalahati sa agent. No. The liability of the principal and the agent towards third person is solidary. Next, the liability of two or more principals towards their agent, solidary din. So, hindi pwedeng maghati-hati yung principal or papuntahin nila yung agent sa lahat ng principal para singilin yung share nila. Hindi. Kasi their liability is not joint. Their liability towards the agent is solidary. That's Article 1915 of the New Civil Code. Next, New Civil Code pa rin, Article 2157. The liability to or more payees, kunwari binayaran ko si A at B, dapat ang bayaran ko pala si C at D. So, kailangan ibalik sa akin ni A at B. So, pwede bang sabihin na ang ibabalik lang ni A ay kalahati? Hindi. Ang kailangan ibalik ni A, yung buo, or Kung ang siningil ko naman si B, kailangan ibalik ni B yung buo. Tapos bahala na silang magsingil ang dalawa. Okay? Tapos under Article 2157, their liability, the nature of their liability is solidary. Under the Negotiable Instruments Law, Section 7, okay, if a promissory note or an instrument, bill of exchange is termed as I promise to pay pero hindi lang iisa yung nakapirma, madami sila, then their liability is solidary. So all of them may be held liable for the entire prestation. Pero kung nasingil ko ng isa, hindi na ako pwedeng maningil ng iba. Okay? But each of them may be held liable for the whole amount. And under New Civil Code Article 2194, yung liability under quasi-delict, kunyari may nasira kayong bagay, and the source of the liability is quasi-delict, all of you are liable solidarily. Hindi nyo pwedeng paghati-hatian. Dapat yung isa sa inyo magiging liable for the whole amount, then bahala na kayo mag-usap kung paano kayo magbabayaran. But as far as the creditor is entitled for, he can go only to one of you and ask for the whole amount since your liability arises from quasi-delict. Okay? So those are the instances of solidary liability. So kapag sinabi ng batas or kapag ito yung nakita nyo, matic solidary liability, hindi pwedeng i-qualify. Okay? Next, 1208. Okay, if from the law or the nature of the wording of the obligations to which the preceding article refers, the contrary does not appear, then kung sanabi hindi solidary, then it is joint. The whole obligation will be divided into as many shares as there are creditors or debtors. Okay? Ngayon, sir, what if, kunwari, ako yung creditor, tapos ang debtor ko si A at B. Hindi nagbayad si A at B. Pwede ko bang kasuhan ng separate case si A, tapos separate case si B? Or dapat pagsamahin ko na? The answer is, dapat pagsamahin. Kasi hindi pwede ang multiplicity of suits. Okay? I-joinder yan ng batas natin, ng korte natin. Okay? So, isa lang naman yung pinagalingan ng issue. Kahit several parties pa yan, kailangan pagsamahin. Kasi bawal ang tinatawag na multiplicity of suits. Okay? What are this? Okay? These are the consequences when there is joint liability. Pag may joint liability kasi, ang lagi nyo lang tandaan, kanya-kanyang share. Kunyari, 5 yung creditor, 5 yung debtors. So, kung ano lang yung share ng isang debtor, yun lang ang papakailangan niya. Okay? Kunwari, yung 5 debtor, yung isa doon minor, pwede niyo bang gawing depensa na, minor ako, hindi ako pwede magbayad? Pwede. Pero yung ibang creditor na hindi naman minor, pwede ba nilang dahilan na mababawasan yung babayaran nila kasi minor naman yung isa? Hindi. Kasi kung ano yung share mo, kapag joint yung obligation, share mo yun. Wala dapat pakailamanan kung ano yung depensa ng iba. Okay, let's see. What are the different consequences when there is joint liability? Number 1, incapacity or vitiated consent of one debtor does not affect the other debtors. For example, si A at B jointly obliged ng 20,000 kay C. Okay, so pero si A incapacitated, vitiated ang consent, kunwari tintukan siya ng baril, kaya siya pumirma doon sa promissory note. Okay? So, mawawala yung share niya. So, dapat bang singilin ni C kay B yung buong 20,000? Hindi. Ang sisingilin niya lang kay B as yung share niya kasi nga joint. Okay? Pwede bang sabihin ni B na wala na yung buong obligasyon since yung kasama niya naman ay nagkaroon ng vitiated consent? Hindi. Kasi depensa lang yun ni A. Kasi nga, the obligation of A and B ay joint. Kanya-kanya. Next, insolvency of one debtor does not make the other debtor liable per share. Kunwari, hindi makabayad si A kasi insolvent siya. Pwede bang sabihin ni C na dapat karguhin ni B yung share ni A? Hindi. Okay? So, problema na yun ni creditor. Kasi nga, the nature of the obligation of A and B is joint. Save in the case if solidary, cargo niya yung kay A. Okay? Pero kapag joint, hindi niya cargo. Next, a demand made on one debtor makes him in default if he does not perform his part of the debt, but not the other debtors. Kunwari, nagdemand na yung creditor kay A, hindi nagbayad si A. So, in default na si A. Legal delay na si A, magbabayad na siya ng damages, magbabayad na siya ng interest. So, does that mean that the demand of A is good as a demand to B as well? No. So, mag-demand ka kay A, ibang demand pa yung kay B. So, kung hindi ka nag-demand kay B, B will not be held in legal delay. Okay, so general rule. Next, defenses of one debtor may not be available to other debtors. Yun yung sinabi ko, kapag minor yung isa, sa kanya lang yon. Okay? Kasi nga, in joint obligation, kanya-kanya. Okay? I think I have some examples here. Okay, ito pag-usapan natin ha. Under Article 12, what article are we in na? 1207, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1207 pa rin tayo. Okay, ito, example natin kapag merong joint debtors and joint creditors. So, ibig sabihin, the nature of the liability of the debtors are joint, kanya-kanya, and the nature of the claim of the creditors are also joint, ibig sabihin, kanya-kanya din. So, A and B owed X and Y 20,000. The share of A in the debt is 1/4 only, while that of B is 3/4. The share of X in the credit is 2/5, while that of Y is 3/5. So, kunwari, maniningil si creditor X. Okay? Since joint creditor siya, ilan lang ang pwede niyang singilin? 2/5. So, ilan yung 2/5 ng 20,000? So, nasa 8,000. Okay? Kanina niya pwedeng singilin yung 8,000? Kay A ba ng buo? Or kay B ng buo? Or dapat hati sila? Dapat hati sila since joint debtors tayo. So, si A, 1/4 lang. Si B, 3/4 lang. So, that is 2K, 3K. Okay? Si Y, pwede bang maningil ulit? Yes. Pwede niyang singilin yung 3/5, 12K. Kay A niya ba kukunin niya ng buo? Or kay B niya kukunin ng buo? Or hati sila? Hati sila. Kay A, 1/4. Kay B, 3/4. So, kay A, 3,000, tama ba? Yeah, 12,000 times 3/5. And kay B, 9,000. Okay? So, kung pag-aadin mo yung binayad ni A, magiging 5,000 pa rin, which is representative of 1/4 of 20,000. Okay? So, that's when joint debtors and joint creditors. So, I think, parang tignan nyo, there is 4 distinct debt. Ito. Okay? So, I hope we're clear with that. Next, lagyan natin ng twist. Joint debtors, pero solidary creditors. So, kapag solidary, they can collect the whole amount. So, si X, hindi lang 2/5 ang pwede niyang i-collect, 20,000. So, kanino niya yun pwedeng i-collect? Kay A ba ng buo or hati sila ni B? Hati sila. Since si A, 1/4 lang, si B, 3/4. So, 5K, 15K. Paano si Y? Makakasingil pa kaya siya kay A or B? Hindi na. Ang pupuntahan na ni Y, si X. Kunin niya na yung share niyang 15,000. Okay? So that's when there's joint debtor and solidary creditor. Pwede bang si Y ang maningil? O okay lang, basta hindi pa naningil si X. Kung sino kasi yung unang maningil, dun dapat magbayad. Okay? That's the rule. Next natin, baliktad naman, solidary debtors, joint creditors. So, kunwari si X, ang pwede niya lang singilin, 2/5, 8,000. Pwede niya bang singilin niya ng buo kay A? Yes. Or B. Since the debtor is solidary. So, kunwari, A paid. Binayaran niya 8K. Sobra na, di ba? Dapat 5K lang. Okay? So, sisingilin niya ngayon yung 3K na sobra from B. Okay? Kunwari si Y, ang nasingil niya 3/5, 12K. O, pwede niyang singilin kay A or B. What if A paid 12K? O, di 20K nang binayaran ni A. O, di yung 12K plus yung sobra kanina na 3K, sisingilin niya lahat kay B. Okay? Yun lang. Ganun lang siya kadali. Next. O, pareho na. Solidary debtor, solidary creditor. So, X, pwede siyang dumiretso kay A, maningil ng buong 20,000. Or punta siya kay B, kung hindi siya nagbayad si A, 20,000. Then, bahala na si B na maningil nung 5,000 from A. Okay? Ganun lang, kadali ang difference ng solidary obligation sa joint obligation. Okay? I hope we're clear with that. 1209. Okay? If the division is impossible, the right of the creditor may be prejudiced only by their collective acts and the debt can be enforced only by proceeding. O, di ba? against all the debtors. So, ito, joint siya. So, pwede sanang individual pwede sanang hati-hati, di ba? Yung paniningil. Yun nga lang, indivisible. Okay? So, anong gagawin? Kailangan mag-demand sa lahat. For example, ito. Example natin sa Article 1209. Okay? A, B, and C are obliged to deliver specific horse. Indivisible to. O silent yung obligation ni A, B, at C. Silent din yung credit na X, Y, and Z. So, joint tayo. Joint debtor plus joint creditor. O, hindi pwedeng hati-hatiin kasi indivisible. Okay? So, ang mangyayari dyan, sa X, Y, at Z, they must make a demand against A, B, and C. Lahat sila. Okay? Now, if A is not ready to comply, okay, hindi siya makapagbayad, okay, ano mangyayari? The obligation to deliver the horse will be converted into a monetary obligation to pay the price of the horse. Ngayon, may pambayad naman si B and C. So, they will pay. Yung 3K each sila. Okay? Sir, paano yung damage na pwedeng singilin na X, Y, at Z kasi hindi natupad yung usapan? Sino magbabayad nun? Si A. Okay? Kasi siya lang naman na may kasalanan kung bakit hindi ma-deliver yung horse. Now, another one. What if A is insolvent? Okay, cargo ba yun ni B at C? No. Because the obligation of A, B, and C is joint. Kung solidary, cargo nila si A. Now, on the part naman ng creditor, what if si X? Okay? Renounces his right to the obligation, pero hindi sinabi kay Y and Z. Okay? E di yung share lang ni X ang affected. So, ilan pang pwedeng singilin ni Y at Z? 9,000 ba? Hindi. 6,000 na ang pwede niyang singilin. Kanino nila pwedeng singilin yon? Okay? Hindi naman sinabi ni X na ang nirenounce yung kay A, B, or C, di ba? Generic naman. So, paghahatian yun ni A, B, at C. Tag 2K na lang sila. Okay? So, yun yung mangyayari ha. If there is joint indivisible obligation. Okay? So, that's Article 1209. Next natin, Article 1210. The indivisibility of an obligation does not necessarily give rise to solidarity. Okay? Kagaya kanina yung horse, kahit indivisible siya, pwede pa rin maging joint yung nature ng obligation. Okay? Nor does solidarity of itself imply indivisibility. Kunwari, A and B solidarily obliged to give C 1 million. So, hindi nila pwedeng hatiin yung 1 million kahit divisible naman yung 1 million. Kasi the nature of their obligation is solidary. That's why it's called nature. Yun pa rin ang matutupad. Okay? 1211. Solidarity may exist although the creditors and debtors may not be bound in the same manner and by the same periods and condition. Okay? Let's get into the example para mas maintindihan natin ito. Okay? Ito kasi yung pagkakataon na solidary siya pero hindi siya makukuha ng buo. Kasi nga, parcel by parcel yung pagiging due nung obligation. Okay? Example number 1. A, B, and C are solidarily obliged to give X 30,000. Okay? The parties stipulated, ito na. Yung share ni A, although may share siya, pero solidary. Diba? Due today. Yung share ni B, sa Christmas Day, next year. Yung share ni C, upon the fulfillment of a condition. So, 3. 30,000 yan. So, yung isang share na 10,000 due today, yung isang share na 10,000 due sa Christmas Day next year, yung isang share na 10,000 due naman kapag nangyaring condition, yung pagtaas, yung ma-meet yung price ng stock. Okay? So, ano mangyari? Okay? So, here, today, sino si creditor? Si X. Pwede siyang mag-collect ng 10,000 today. But the question is, kanino? Kay A lang ba? Kasi share niya yon. The answer is no. A, B, or C. Kasi nga solidary. Yung 10,000 sa Christmas Day, ganun din. Pwede niyang singilin kay A, B, or C. Hindi pwedeng kay B lang. Sir, kung doon sa unang utang na 10K na binayaran, si A ang nagbayad, doon sa pangalawang 10K, pwede bang si A ulit ang magbayad? Yes. Kahit doon sa pangatlong 10K, pwede bang si A ang magbayad kay X? Yes. Tas bahala na later on si A na maningil kay B at C. Okay? This is possible because in solidary obligation, any one of the debtors is held liable for the whole obligation. Okay? So parang nahati-hati lang kung ano yung mga part na due. Pero since solidary, lahat sila, cargo nila yon. Okay? Another example. A is obliged to give 9,000 to X, Y, and Z. Solidary creditors. The parties agree that the share of X is collectible on demand, share of Y, end of the year, share of C, when he completed his course in accounting. So mangyayari, today, sinong pwedeng maningil? Si X lang ba? Kasi yung share niya lang ang due today? No. Kung joint, yes. Pero kung solidary, no. Hindi lang si X ang pwedeng maningil. Either X, Y, and Z pwedeng maningil today. Magkano? Malamang yung share ni X na 3,000. Pagdating ng end of the year, sino ulit ang pwedeng maningil ng 3,000? Pwede ba ulit maningil si X kahit siya nang naningil nung una? Yes. Okay? Isang pangatlo, pwede bang si X ulit ang maningil or pwedeng si Y? O, pwedeng si Y. Pero pwede bang si X ulit? Yes. Then bahala na si X na magbigay ng share ni Y at Z. So, ganun ang mangyayari. So, as you can see on the wordings of the law, no, even if they are not bound in the same manner and same period, still nagkakaroon ng solidarity. Okay? So, that's Article 1211. I hope we're clear with that. Next is Article 1212. Okay? Parang Shopee. Okay? Each one of the solidary creditors daw may do whatever may be useful to the others but not anything which may be prejudicial to the latter. Kasi all for one, one for all kasi sila eh. So parang kunwari, si isang solidary creditor, hindi niya pwedeng i-waive yung buong obligation. Pag winave niya, invalid yun. Okay? Or kapag inassign niya, tapos yung pinag-assignan niya, hindi nag-share later on nung na-collect niya, siya ang hahabulin. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi actually ni 1213, no? A solidary creditor cannot assign his rights without the consent of the others. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na mutual agency. Ayan, may example tayo dito. A is indebted to X, Y, and Z, solidary debtors. I think this is creditors. Solidary creditors for 30,000. X assigned his rights to T. But unfortunately, without the knowledge of Y and Z. Oh, so hindi sana pwede, 'di ba? The assignment is supposedly invalid. But then, if later on, kung akala ni X, Y, and akala ni A ay pwede siyang magbayad kay T, nagbayad naman siya kay T. O good faith naman yung pagbabayad niya. O si T, anong dapat obligasyon niya? Si T needs to give the share of Y and Z. What if tinakbo ni T? Anong remedyo ni Y at Z? Since ang nangyari is hindi naman nag-approve si Y at Z sa pag-assign ng share ni X kay T, then si Y and Z, pwede nilang habulin ngayon si X. Okay? Yun ang magiging consequence niya. Okay? So that's Article 1213. Next is Article 1214. Okay? The debtor may pay any one of the solidary creditors, kasi solidary creditors nga eh. So, any one of them. But, if any demand, judicial or extrajudicial has been made by one of them, dun magbayad. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na kung sino yung nag-demand, siya dapat ang pagbayaran. Hindi pwedeng ibigay sa iba. Okay? Because one of them represent the rights of the others. Okay? So, that's Article 1214. Alright. So, the next provision under joint and solidary obligation is this, 1215.